Alright guys, thank you for coming to the Wind Dragon page. This video is going to be about Chinese wrestling titled Suai Jiao. Some people call it shuai, which basically means like fast wrestling, or hopefully I pronounced that right. But a lot of people don't know that originally in the Chinese Kung Fu systems, there was a high sophisticated form of wrestling that did not necessarily have any rules. It was quite primitive. I think originally, as you will find out, they used to wrestle with like helmets that had horns on their head, and their style of wrestling was very primitive, meaning people died in these matches. So anyways, I'm going to get straight to the point. Okay, this is a video on Suai Jiao, Chinese wrestling, in which this element of wrestling exists in all Kung Fu systems. Why a lot of people don't practice it and all this stuff, I don't know, but I'm here to read this to you now. Suai Jiao Chinese wrestling is the most ancient of all Chinese martial arts, with a history of over 4,000 years. Its recorded use in a military engagement was when the Yellow Emperor of China fought against the rebel Chu Yu and his army in 2697 BC. They used horn helmets and gored their opponents while using a primitive form of grappling. This early style of recorded combat was first called Jiao Li, in brackets, button with horns. Throughout the centuries, the hands and arms replaced the horns, while the techniques increased and improved. The name Jiao Li also changed and was referred to by many names popular at that time in history or by government decree. The original Chinese martial arts, a combat wrestling system called Jiao Li, in brackets, strength and endurance skills, was systemized during the Zhou dynasty in 1122 to 256 BC. This military combat wrestling system, the first combinations of fighting techniques historically employed by the imperial army, consisted of throws, hand and foot strikes, seasoned joints. Doesn't that sound kind of like MMA right there? But this is life or death. This is war. Attacking vital points and breaking joints in context of throwing. All of these elements of fighting skills were practiced in training during the winter months and used in hundreds of battles in ancient China. Not inside of a ring, not inside of a cage, not on a mat, not on a wooden floor in the winter. It is the root and the foundation of Chinese martial arts. Used primarily in military engagements, Jiao Li gradually became a sport in the Qin dynasty in 221 to 207 BC, during the reign of the Emperor Shi Huangdi. Even as a sport practice on the Leitai sparring platform, in brackets, exponents would aim to prove their skills were superior to that of their opponent. Only the very best of Jiao Li exponents, proven in battle and on the Leitai, would be selected to become bodyguards to the emperor. As the martial arts of choice for the emperor's bodyguard, Suai Jiao was also considered to be the most effective of the Chinese fist styles. Over many centuries, the art was taught to the imperial military, and in this century is taught in the police and military academies of China and Taiwan, ROC. Suai Jiao embodies the principles of both internal and external styles, and the vast majority of martial arts have their roots in Suai Jiao. In ancient times, practitioners of Suai Jiao competed against one another bare-chested. In modern times, training is undertaken in a heavy quilted canvas cotton jacket. One important point is that Suai Jiao does not depend on the opponent's jacket or clothing in order to throw them. The priority is to grab the muscle and bone through the clothing in order to control and throw the opponent. Sorry about that. The use of the competitor's jacket that has short sleeves above the elbows, and the jacket itself wraps tightly around the torso with a canvas belt, adds variety of techniques in controlling and throwing the opponent. Fast footwork using sweeps, inner hooks and kicks to the opponent's legs are combined with the controlling striking arms that create a two-directional action, making a powerful throw. Chinese martial arts pants and wrestling boots are usually worn, but bare feet are acceptable for the novice. There are many other major styles of Suai Jiao: Beijing, Tianjin, Mongolian, Boke, and Baoding, which is also referred to as Kuai Shuai, fast wrestling. There are diverse types of wrestling indigenous to the minority groups in China, such as the Uyghurs in Xinjiang and Yis in Yunnan province. The Uyghurs are Turkish people. Most of the Suai Jiao practitioners in the late Qing dynasty were based in the northern China. Until the establishment of the Republic of China in 1911, when the art was then introduced to southern China. Famous masters of the late Qing early Republic of China are Ping Qing Yi, Chang Fen Yen, Pai Chun Fang, Ku Jui Nian, Man Lao Ming, Shi Lao Qin, An Lao Hua, Wu Tzu, Shan Tian Pao, Li Jui Tong, Chu Kuo Chen, Wang Tzu Qing, and Ma Liang. They followed by the well-known figures of modern Suai Jiao, Chang Tong Sheng, Chang Tong Ju, Chang Tong Po, Chang Tong Chi, Yan Shan Yi, and Ma Wen Kui of the Bao Ding style, and Shen San, Yang Chun Hen, and Pao Shan of the Beijing style, and Mu Xiang Kui, Lui Xiao Tseng, and Pu En Fu of the Tianjin style. Sorry, I'm not Chinese, so I tried my best. When the nationalist government established itself on Taiwan ROC in 1949, a few champions of Suai Jiao migrated to Taiwan ROC and introduced Suai Jiao. The most famous master was Cheng Tong Sheng. Others recognized Suai Jiao masters are Zheng Xingping and David Lin, Chi Sui, Daniel Wang of USA, Li Wing Kei of Brazil, Yuan Tzu Mo of France, Huang Qing Zheng Germany, and Louis Lin of Sweden. These masters have been responsible for promoting Suai Jiao overseas to Europe, the United States, and South America. The next generation includes masters Chang Da Wei of Taiwan ROC, the grandson of Chang Tong Sheng, Rob Simpson, United Kingdom, and Antonio Langiano of Italy. Modern Suai Jiao evolved from an ancient form of battlefield combat. Its techniques are the culmination of tested grappling experience in the best environment, the battlefield. This practical and devastating efficient method of combat has evolved into a sophisticated and effective no-nonsense system of martial arts. Its philosophy shares the same principle of internal system of Chinese martial arts, yin and yang. In fact, the advanced Suai Jiao practitioner utilizes both internal and external principles and views these principles as two sides of the same coin meeting at a junction and complementing each other, but coming from totally different origins. In modern times, Suai Jiao masters are employed by the police and military of a number of nations across the world, including China and Taiwan ROC. So even today, Suai Jiao's effectiveness as a martial art is still being proven in both military combat and the street. So don't tell me that Kung Fu is not a complete system. Originally, Kung Fu was highly developed in the areas of wrestling, grappling, etc., etc., real combat. This information I got from www.quoshu.co.uk. You can research it yourself. Thank you for watching, and please, I hope you have learned something today as far as history of Chinese martial arts.